Okay, na?
Yes, sir. Good morning, dear participants. I am Mr. K. Upendra, Assistant Professor of the Hindu College MBA Department. As you know, we have a lab paper called Selling and Negotiation Skills in the MBA curriculum, especially in the second semester. So we started some sessions on this lab paper. In the previous week, we done introduction to selling and negotiation skills lab. Today we have the part two of it. We have esteemed personality, our DVA Ramamurthy sir. He was an expertise in behavioral field, behavioral management solutions field. And as you know, he was our mentor also. So we are conducting these sessions for the last 1.5 years. We did a lot of sessions, and this is only particularly meant for MBA students of the Hindu College MBA department, Machilipatnam. But we are offering this service to all global community to share his expertise through YouTube live mode. So, with these few words, I am welcoming you all, and I am requesting Divya sir to go ahead with the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Upendra. It's indeed a great pleasure to be here today. And I thank Upendra sir for having invited me to be here on this. And one unique thing that we are going live on YouTube and live streaming, and all our friends are invited. Those who are interested in joining us for the discussion, they are welcome. And I also welcome the student friends for joining me today. This is the part two of selling and negotiation skills presentation. The last session, we were talking about how important is negotiation skill and how we need to fine tune our negotiation skills. In the, of course, negotiation, as I've already told you earlier, that it can be a concept which can be used in any sort of civilized bipartite confrontations. How you're going to negotiate the discussion among different parties in this setting. But this discussion centers around only selling and personal selling approaches. So, with this backdrop, we continue part two of the discussion. Now we talk on certain strategies for collaborative negotiation. See here, what happens is when the seller and the buyer sit together for a conversation, as a matter of fact. So it is there is nothing like what you call a compromise or a conflict or whatever. It's a complete collaboration between the seller situation and also the buyer situation as such. So let us examine what are the strategies for collaborative negotiation, taking the customer in and make the conversation as fruitful as possible. The first important strategy is to build up this trust. Trust. So you need to demonstrate reliability and integrity. That means your company should be reliable, and your conversation should be indicative of your integrity of serving the customers. So that should be the scenario in which you sit, so that can help you to build the trust between yourself and the customer in question. Second strategy would be finding common ground. So wherein customers will always be in a fix, so they may not have their identified needs also, because we need to over amplify their needs sometimes. The hidden needs are there in the customers. You need to over amplify them. So naturally, what happens here is that you need to identify the shared goals and values. What is there from your side, and what you can give it to them. So that's what we mean. You need to find out a common ground of conversation and a dialogue. That's very important. See, here it's not that important whether who gains or who loses. It's a concept called collaborative negotiation. The third important strategy would be flexibility. That means, what happens here, customers may have n plus one number of objections, doubts, or whatever. So be willing to adapt and consider alternative solutions as far as possible. See, of course, you may not completely reach the customer in a particular scenario, but then you are in a position to be adaptable and should be considering all alternative solutions as far as possible. The fourth important strategy would be creativity. That means think outside the box. Help the customer. Help the customer to help himself to over amplify the needs, and then help the customer with innovative solutions to help solve his problem. So you should be in a position to be conversing in an innovative way, where thinking outside the box is said to be important. Then about the next strategy would be empathetic. Empathy. Show empathy. See, it's not your take always. See, you are for the customer, right? So that's why we've all been telling the see, you're not the customers won't buy products and services, they are buying solutions to their problems. So identify a problem the customer has and suggest a solution so that the customer can completely understand, yes, he's there for me. So understand and acknowledge the other party's perspective is very, very important. So these are the strategies for a collaborative negotiations. Now, avoiding compromise. See, I mean, avoiding compromise does not mean entering into conflict scenarios. What it means is you need not have to sacrifice much for the sake of getting an order from the customer. That's what we mean. It's not somebody losing and somebody gaining. It is a win-win scenario as such. Let us just for conceptual understanding distinguish between what's a compromise and what's a collaboration. Compromise is often involves both parties giving up something, leading to lose-lose scenario. See, if you compromise for the customer's unique approach of handling objections, you're completely going into the, I mean, giving advantage to the customer and lose from your company side. That is wrong. At the same time, customer also should be in a position to educate himself to be for a 50-50 advantage as such. So there is nothing like you compromising on and losing something. No, it's not like that. And it is collaboration. What is collaboration? Focuses on finding solutions where both parties gain more than they lose. That's it. Conceptually speaking, customer should feel that he has got the advantage, he or she got the advantage, and the you are the representative of the company should also gain, and the customer should also gain. It's a gain scenario, win scenario. That's what we mean by avoiding compromise and work for collaboration. So let's examine what are the key techniques to avoid compromise, because what happens here in negotiations, everybody will be sticking on to their own guns. Like salesperson will have to stick to his own sales arguments, and customer will have to stick to their own, objections or whatever. So let's look at the joint problem solving approaches. What we have, some key techniques involved in avoiding compromise. Work together to solve the problem rather than making concessions. See, customers will always be there, skeptical that we may not get the advantage from the salesperson or whatever. So it is your responsibility as a salesperson in a negotiation table that you need to work out on a joint problem solving approach. So your intention should be to work together to solve the problem rather than making concessions. We give this concession, that concession. Don't talk about that. You talk about the problem of the customer and how best the product can help solve his particular problem. So that's what in the process, your problem, like salesperson's problem, also gets solved. Like you're going to get the client, finish the sale. Second, trade-offs. So trade-off is what you want to sacrifice for the sake of other person. So you have to search for ways and means to have this call to be very, very productive. So find areas where one party's gain does not result in other party's loss. It's not like that. It's a very interesting aspect here. It's only a trade off. So you also gain and other people also will gain. Theoretically speaking, sometimes it looks odd, but it is practical. So find the areas where one party's gain does not result in other party's loss. That means it is not one party covering down the other. Either the customer cow down the salesperson or salesperson covering down the customer, as a matter of fact. Because you are there as a salesperson, key role, you are participating in a negotiation as such. You need to initiate. So look at trade-offs. Then is integrative negotiations. Integrative negotiation is all about not keeping the other party docile, dumb, and silent. Identify ways to integrate the needs of both the parties into the solution. So let the customer speak out. Let the customer, elaborate the problem he has in the process of this negotiation as such. So this speaks of integrative negotiation. It's not something like a highly programmed sales talk bombarding the customer and stop there. No, it's not like that. So it is integrative negotiation as such. Let us look at some win-win negotiation examples. Example one, a case one here, is a salesperson negotiates with a large client to provide customized products that meet the client's specific needs while securing a long-term contract. See this, both because the company wins a long-term contract, and at the same time customer also wins with his customized products. You are making the products ready according to the customer's needs and fashions. The second example we can give is two companies in a joint venture scenario sit across the negotiation table, find a way to share resources and expertise, leading to mutual growth and market expansion. Look at what it means. So they're interested in mutual growth and market expansion together. So it's not like one losing, one gaining. It's again a case of win-win negotiation. So with that, when we talk about, before we proceed for further discussion on negotiation skills, effective negotiation skills are very essential for achieving successful and sustainable agreements. Please note that it is very, very important for you to, master the effective negotiation skills. Otherwise, it becomes difficult for the salespeople to, convince the customers, as a matter of fact. So, by focusing on collaborative and win win approaches, negotiators can create value and satisfy interests and build lasting relationships without resorting to compromise. Mind it, we are not, pushing the company into losses by participating in negotiation tables. Mind it, we have already said it is collaboration, not a compromise. Compromise is something. It sounds like you're losing something for the sake of advantage to be given to somebody else. When it is collaboration, it's a win-win scenario. Mind it. So with this in question, let's look at one more interesting model. What we now talk about, a pyramid of success. Negotiation skills, a pyramid of success, where power, time, information, and opponent types are being discussed now. Let's examine what are these things. What is a pyramid of success here?
Sir?
It represents, Upendra, anything else?
Yeah, yes, sir. Sir, yesterday we done some exercise on negotiation skills. So,
Okay.
would you like to share those pictures, uh, or at the end we do it, sir?
Oh, at the end we do it. I don't know what we have done. I'll
Okay,
come back to you, and after the discussion is over, we'll be in a position to
okay,
take up
okay,
that.
sir. Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you.
So the everything is going good, huh?
Yes, sir, going good, sir. If
How
you
about
go and sir, if go and see any other newcomers are there, add to the stage, sir. Just once check it out.
again, because the problem is that, I have to, because I'm on full screen, I'm not getting anybody else here. That's the problem.
Okay, okay, sir.
So
Go ahead, sir. It's not an
I'm
issue.
not seeing that screen.
Okay. Press escape, sir, so that we can go to URL there.
then everything will go out of there. That is the problem.
No, nothing, sir. Nothing can happen, sir. Just go to that one. Yeah.
Go there.
If
Let me
some
see.
no, okay, okay. Nobody was there, sir. So, no, go ahead, sir. Okay.
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 Okay. Okay. Sorry for the interruption, friends. This is about the pyramid of success we're talking. The pyramid of success in negotiation represents the hierarchical structure of an essential negotiation components. Let's see what is this hierarchical structure just now. And each level builds upon the previous one, forming a strong foundation for successful outcomes. Because what happens is where to start and where to close is a matter of great concern for us. You know how to handle a conversation as such, where to start and where to end and all. Because what happens is customers will always be skeptical about. I'm not branding the customers like that. But then what happens is when the salesperson or sales representative calls on the customers, you need to start your own conversation first, as a matter of fact, and you need to build up the trust. The first fundamental strategy is to help the customer to help solve his own problems, as a matter of fact. Let's examine what are these levels of the pyramid. One, two, three, four, five. It's preparation. Yeah, it is very, very important here to prepare yourself well. So of course, it can be a cold call or an appointed time at which you will be calling the customers. But then you need to do a lot of homework before you touch the customer. Very, very important, because the purpose of discussion centers around yourself, and the customers would be in a position to interact you only when you are conversational minded. And if you would start a conversation, as a matter of fact, what is the stuff you have on hand in order to identify the customers problems and whatever. So first level is all about your preparatory level, and there is no compromise on this. Do research on the product, do research on the customer whims and fancies, or what needs and need patterns or whatever. Understanding the objectives behind the conversational abilities and all, and why you're participating in conversation with negotiating with the customer class. And knowing the opponent does not mean in the negative sense of the word. In this negotiation table, it is something like you are the person, and the sitting across the table is a person who is a customer or a client or another company in a joint venture scenario. So you need to understand the opponent. Again, I repeat that opponent does not mean in the negative sense of the word. It's not a war like you and your opponent participating in a war and you win and they lose, or they win and you lose. It is something like a collaborative approach as such. Conceptually speaking, we just coined the word called opponent. Okay, we come to that little later. After preparing yourself with regard to your research insights into what's your company is all about, what's the company's product and all that, understanding the objectives behind these sales conversations, and knowing something about the opposite party who is sitting across the table. The second important level is strategy development. Yeah, then you need to work out, because it is completely your own thing, because nobody is there to assist you on that. That's why you need to do a lot of research about your company's product, company's details and all that. You need to understand the customer across the table, or client, or any company across the table in a joint venture scenario. So you need to have knowing the opponent, and you, after doing this research, you need to now plan for approaches in conversation. What best you can do, because you see what may happen is customers will always be silent. The other clients across the table will be silent and waiting for you to interact. Of course, some people will be conversational and they approach you with their own conversation styles and all that. Then it would be relatively easy for you to participate in conversation. But sometimes what happens is they'll be rigid enough. They will not talk. unless you open up the discussion. As a matter of fact, reasons may be very many. There are customers and customers, clients and clients, isn't it? So you can't question their thing. Having gone there, you need to have to plan your own approach. Now, how to start a conversation? This becomes a very important area. How to start a conversation? Think of starting a conversation. It's a sales conversation, minded. It should be started in a very, very pleasant scenario, as a matter of fact, isn't it? So you have to set some approaches where you can participate on a very safe sail also, not simply participating. The conversation should be on a safe sail. You should not get yourself in turbulent waters, rubbing on the wrong side of the customers. Am I clear what I'm saying? So that's very, very important. Say, for example, when you go there, you find it can be any the customer can go in for inviting you, or may not invite you as per your own expectation. These things will normally happen. So after suppose example that you are invited, then how to start a conversation? You are invited to a drawing hall and you're offered a seat, and then the customer asks what is the purpose, or he may not even open his mouth. What then? Now it is up to you to steer the conversation. So I just identify, for example, at the same time, their pet dog comes. You can open up a conversation about the plus features of the pet dog, and their hobby of rearing a pet dog and all. That elevates the mood of the customer, as a matter of fact. Or look at the photo frame, and you find something interesting there, and start a conversation. Say, this is a scenario. I think you've taken a picture in Ooty. It's quite good, and I appreciate your taste. So this kind of nice words about the customers. Just give a cushion to our conversation, as a matter of fact. So what may happen is that helps the customer to come closer to you. So you're making a comfort zone for yourself. Our intention is not to praise the customer. Our intention is to finish the sale, close the sale. But at the same time, you need to plan for different approaches to fine tune and steer the conversation, sales conversations. So identify the tactics. You should have to have a tactic. Tactic, again, here is in a positive sense of the word we use. Sales tactics, we call it. Presentation tactics, we call it. Again, the end result would be win-win scenario minded. So that's it. Strategy development. There are no right or wrong answers here, but the thing is, you should win the scenario. At the same time, giving the wins for customers as well. So the third is effective communication. This is the crux of sales conversations. Absolutely important. So again, there are two things. Are you there with programmed sales talk, or you design your sales talk according to the customer's question pattern or whatever? Options are yours, depending upon the stage that is set when you sit with the customers. If the customer wants to say that, no, you speak out and what you want to tell me, then your programmed talk can help you. Please note that we need to redesign your program talk depending upon the customer's needs. Suppose you might have participated in a discussion earlier with the customer, just in the as early as you go there. The customer might be having some 1, 2, 3, 4 doubts. Then you need to fine tune your sales talk. That's very, very important. So programmed sales talk and customized sales presentations. And one important aspect here is, apart from your speaking ability to converse with the customers and all, you should be having some patience and listen properly. Active listening is very, very important. See, actions speak louder than words, meaning that the customer's body language must be understood very clearly. Active listening does not mean lending your ear to what the customer speaks. It is reading his body language and all, and number of things that come into our fold here in the process of looking at the entire sales scenario to be made productive. So active listening is very, very important, and clear articulation of points. It's just about what I was just now mentioning about the articulation of your sales presentation. Clear articulation of the points. At the end of the say, at the end of the game, no, when you come back, come out of the customer's house and say, sorry, I would have, presented this point also, that point also. That is your mistake. So effective communication is all about articulation of your points, at the same time active listening in order to handle objections, in order to handle a lot of customer grievances. So if you're actively listening, there can be a trust built up, and the customer thinks that yes, he is the right person for me to help solve my problem. Look at what it means. Yeah. Then next would be bargaining. Then comes, of course, your negotiation skill of making offers and counter offers, finding the common ground. So a lot of things, because today we are living in a customized marketing scenarios today. So you need to offer discounts, you need to offer a lot of offers, you need to think, and there will be offers and counter offers. Counter offers come from the customer side, and you will be bringing them, giving them some offers or whatever. So you need to find out common ground within the broader prospect is sorry, within the broader policy framework that you have from the company side, as a matter of fact. So you need to bargain. Hard bargaining takes place here, and it is collaboration mind. It is not again a compromise. Don't cut down yourself. At the same time, don't cut down the customers on the other side. That's why it said, I have already told you in the beginning, it's a tightrope walk where you want to gain and let the customers also gain, because the satisfied customer is the best advertising medium. So that's it. You can't, not supposed to lose the clients in the process of bargaining. Okay, that's what making offers and counter offers, handling them, finding the common ground and all. And of course, the last step is we are for reaching a final agreement. There's no other alternative, isn't it? See, we have spent a lot of time there not to take a cup of coffee and get out of the customer's premises or their bargaining table. But even in a cup of coffee, over a cup of coffee, you have to handle your sales conversation and see that it is made productive. So closing the sales deal is very, 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 very important phase. Reaching a final agreement, ensuring commitment. That is the pinnacle of the pyramid, the top of the pyramid. So look at what? Your preparatory phase, strategy development, effective communication skill, bargaining ability, and closing the sales deal. This is what we refer to as the levels of pyramid. Now, a salesperson preparing to negotiate a large contract with a corporate client, what he would do? Let's examine. The first point is that you need to research the client's needs and market position. We have already said, without researching the client's needs, do not ever take first step in participating in the discussion. You cannot, because at the end of the day, what happens is you totally get confused, and it is very difficult for you to close the deal. So research the client's needs and market position. A second is develop a strategy tailored to the client's interests. Absolutely important. If you can research the client's needs, yes, you are able to develop a strategy tailored to the client's interests. And of course, you need to communicate very effectively, highlighting the product's benefits, what the advantage is there for the client to, if he takes the product from your company. Then bargain by adjusting terms, meet both parties' interests. It's a hard bargaining exercise where we consider your need and also the big client's need. And then, of course, is the closing of the sale. And the deal must be closed with clear, mutually beneficial agreements. No doubts, as a matter of fact. Make sure that it is It's closed not forever. Of course, you'll after sales service and after the sales deal get closed also, because you have to build the trust, and the client will always have a fair approach to interact with you further also on any and after sales scenarios as well. So this is very interesting aspect of it. Now let's look at the power in negotiation. See, as I've already told you, it's a negotiation is not a fist fight or a verbal arguments hitting one against the other. No, it is something like influencing the opponent's decisions. Again, I repeat here, opponent does not mean in a war terminology in a negative concept of the word. But once you are on the one side of the table and the other side of the table is a client, the customer, or a company in a joint venture scenario, you have to look at that kind of a scenario as an opponent's decisions. As a matter of fact, so it can stem from various sources, such as, say, for example, you have to have the information ready, and you should also have the authority to close the deal, and you should have the expertise of handling customers concerns, and you should also have ample resources with you to deal with this. If you do not have all these, better not to participate in negotiation. The power in negotiation comes as the information you have in presenting your case. Number two, the authority you have on answering n plus one number of questions, big claims, concerns, questions and concerns. Three, you should have an expertise, complete expertise and the product knowledge or whatever, and also the client's needs and all, because you need to go in for research before you go on to the a negotiation table. And of course, you should have all the resources ready with you to have the conversation happening. So that's the power of negotiation. As a matter of fact, let's examine legitimate power. Of course, you are a person who can take the lead. For example, sometimes, what may happen is a person who is conversing with us, a salesperson conversing with us, may not have the authority derived from a formal position. I'll give you one or two examples. You want to buy a car. It's a consumer durable. So once you walk into the cars showroom of XYZ company, then you're asked to sit for a while, and somebody will be coming to you, and in the meanwhile, you're asked to go through the brochure and whatever it is, and go through the cars that are presented there. There you can also go in for checking them inside, exterior, and all. And a person will be coming and discussing with you all the features, etc., and all the sales conditions and all. Then when you suddenly say, this is, I want this concession or that concession or this or that or whatever, but there are a number of concerns from the customer side will be there. Then you all of a sudden you say, sir, I'm not a fitting person for this, and I call my supervisor to come and discuss with you on financials, like a price and discounts or whatever. So this is what we mean by legitimate power. Authority derived from a formal position, as a matter of fact. And you should be officially, because you are a salesperson officially. Oh, this happens only when customer walks into the retail outlet. But what happens when the salesperson walks into the customer's premises? So that's what we mean. So you should have the legitimate power. You can't say again that no, this may be, or you must have to make an immediate phone call and talk to your own authorities, and then make yourself clear about the argument that you put forward from the company side to answer the customer's query. That's it. So legitimate power, authority derived from the formal position. Then expert power, yes, influence based on knowledge or expertise. You derive expert power, and because you are the expert on that particular product or technology behind or whatever, you can completely explain what happens. But of course, the customers also have some product knowledge. For example, I have been using cars and two three cars, and I'm buying a new car, and I also have some expertise over. So here comes the conversational ability, as a matter of fact. So you should also have the expert power to talk something about, say, maybe comparative analysis of these two, three different cars, or superiority of your model, or whatever. So that's it. This is influence based on knowledge and expertise. That's the reason why you have to have complete knowledge and expertise about your product. Then referent power, influence based on relationships or charisma. For example, I like a person, say conversational abilities and all. You're a good presenter by yourself, and you never, you don't have any problem of, what happens conversing with the customers. You're so fluent enough in conversation, capping the conversations, and depending upon the moods of the customers, you can steer conversations and all. These kind of things, charisma you have, like your physical built up, and you present yourself in a very decent dress and stand straight and erect, and with a large smile on your face, and interacting with the customers. This is what we call charisma. So influence based on your relationships and charisma, because some people get connected easily, isn't it? It's a small, large smile on the faces. You can get easily connected, and the conversation takes place without any confrontation. So that's it. That's again referent power. How can you derive power? That's what I'm looking at. Then about coercive power, ability to impose penalties or negative outcomes. This is, of course, non-contextual here in this context. Coercive power, ability to impose penalties or negative outcomes, as a matter of fact. In case where something goes wrong, then you need to apply penalties. So this is okay. Leave those things. But these things are very important. Legitimate power, expert power, and referent power are said to be important. How you are going to have this kind of a thing like. Then reward power, wherein you consider that are you able to give offer incentives for positive or positive outcomes you give for the clients. So that's a very interesting. You see, if you give a discount, or if you give a sales offer, whatever it is. So these are the types of power that you're going to get when you're participating in a negotiation table. Let's examine an example. A car salesperson uses an expert power by demonstrating a deep knowledge of the car's features. Please note, I'm just now mentioning about it. The person who knows the car's features can demonstrate a deep knowledge and the benefits, and it is possible to convince the buyers for its value, definitely. Because so sometimes you might be finding a lot of examples by yourself. You might have gone different sales outlets. You find some person absolutely having a deep knowledge to explain the product, and somebody else is a big vacuum and may not be in a position to present a good conversation. I mean to say, about the product knowledge and all. So these are very important. This is an example where a person who demonstrates deep knowledge of any product, it can convince the customers for its value. So this is very important. This act as a leverage reward power by offering discounts or added services to the customer. Our objective is to, as far as possible, complete the deal, close the sale without compromise. Mind it, without compromise. I again repeat, without compromise. It is a collaborative thing. It's a collaborative thing. Again, it's a tactic. You should be intelligent enough in convincing the customer. Don't, of course, he may have a negative feeling, but let the feeling goes off. You should have to behave in such a fashion that the customer has taken a very wise decision. Am I clear what I'm saying? So that's what we mean by. And then about time in negotiations. This is very important, because what may happen is instantaneous decisions may not take place. The customer, you walk into the retail outlet, and the first time when you enter into the automobile showroom and all, talk to them, and you some of your family members go and talk to them and all. Okay, but you may not finish the deal and close the deal and sign the contract or whatever it is. It may not always be possible like that. So then how you need to look at this time in negotiation? Time can significantly impact negotiations, mind it. Managing and understanding the role of time helps negotiators apply pressure and create urgency, influencing the negotiation outcomes. Very, very important, as a matter of fact. Let's examine. See, when you walk into the retail outlet, sometimes what happens is the salesperson says, "Sir, discount offers will be there, and the discounts will be ending by this week. Significant discount, product advantages." So this is how it goes. So time in negotiations, meaning the people should feel the fact that it is the time for us to complete the deal. I mean, the customer should feel that there is an urgency to complete. Otherwise, I may lose. So that's how it goes. Sales campaigns are run like that. For example, if you refer to in even in digital marketing like e-commerce platforms, and I mean, so see the Flipkart and the Amazon and all run the campaigns like this is the Friday discounts are there, and this week discounts are there, 30%, 40% discounts are. This is how it goes. Time can significantly impact negotiations. Managing and understanding the role of time helps negotiators apply pressure or create urgency, influencing the negotiation outcome. So you need to talk to your, I mean, family members. I was just referring to the discussion just now. So you need to talk to your salespeople. I'm sorry, your other family members. So the salesperson can even participate in a sales call. I mean, participate, come to your house, and again make a presentation to your other family members who did not turn up at the retail outlet. This depends upon the how productive the sales call can be handled. That's it. So there are different aspects in which about concluding the sale. So deadlines create urgency and drive decisions. There's one. Offer ends this way, that way, and all. Then timing of offers, strategic timing of proposals can maximize acceptance. Again, strategic timing of proposals. So this is again how you are going to. I mean, depending upon the customer's needs and all that urgencies and all, strategic timing of proposals can go good, definitely. Of course, for you, we can extend the sales offer, sir. We can extend the sales discount for you only, something like that. If you think that the customer is almost at the verge of closing the deal, then about pacing. That means you here, what happens is you should not have any hesitation here to get the deal closed. It's up to you to manage the speed of negotiation process, mind it. Suppose customers say, no, 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 I need to talk to our, I mean, family members and others. I cannot come. So you may have to look at your own strategies of pacing up time, managing the speed of negotiation. If you are convinced that the customer is the probable prospect, is not a suspect. Suppose the customer do not have any interest in buying and all, you could smell that, and that customer is a suspect. Don't waste time on that deal. But if you think that the customer almost maybe 70, 80, 90% is in favor of the product and wants some doubts to be clarified, it is up to you to manage the speed of negotiation process. Or you can offer your services to go to their home and explain the features to their members who could not attend the retail outlet, whatever. Depends upon the different. I'm just giving some example. I'm not saying this is only the one approach, as a matter of fact. So time is very important. Deadlines, timings of offers, pacing, all these things are said to be very, very important. Let's take an example. You are a real estate sales agent. Look at what it means. A real estate sales agent might create a sense of urgency by informing a potential buyer that there are multiple offers on a property. Look at what it means. Encouraging the buyer to make a very quick decision. All the offers will go out of time. You can't have, this time is the biggest offer here. And for example, if you buy our residential accommodation, interiors will be free for you. I mean, 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs, interiors will be free for you. Something like that. These are all offers. Then I'm referring to one example, like real estate. So I mean, look at different areas where the offers count a lot. So this is how you need to look at discount offers, timing of all these offers, and also you must have to pace up the negotiation process. As a matter of fact, speed up the negotiation process. Then information in negotiation. How you are going to have this negotiation? See, negotiation is all about facts and figures, mind it. It is not your proficiency of communication or convincing arguments you put and all. See, I'm not discounting that, but at the same time, information is very, very critical. See, this is very important. See, the product knowledge and product advantage the customer wants to have is said to be very important, is it? So possessing more relevant information is very, very important. Number two, there are two aspects here: more information and relevant information about your product, one, and number two, on the opponent, I mean, again, is the other side of the negotiation table, maybe the client or a customer. So that can only provide significant advantage, mind it. You know your product, you know yourself, you know your product, and you also master the other person, of course, to the maximum possible extent, because you are researching out. Once you research out, yes, you can. So next, what are the types of information that you have to master before you sit on a negotiation table? Yeah, one is market data, absolutely important. Understanding market conditions and trends is said to be very, 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 very important. The customers can be convinced only with your current market information you have, and make customer understandable completely with the market information. Otherwise, it is very difficult. The customers may have a lot of issues, but you can have to steer the conversation. If you can understand market conditions and trends, you can confidently face the negotiation table. Number two, I've already told you, opponents' needs, meaning other clients' needs, or the clients' priorities, clients' constraints. You have to, do some sort of homework. What can be the probable objections, and what are the things that they can raise? Then, of course, I have already told you product details. Very clear understanding of the product, not only yours but in the competitors' products also. Deep understanding of the product and service being negotiated. So please note that the conversation table, on the conversation table, it is information that flows between yourself and the customer is said to be very, very important. You are the master of, the information flow, and information becomes a very critical asset. And you talk about your products and all, provided that you have a very deep understanding of your products and also competitors' products. And you should also have a complete information about the client's priorities and constraints. And you should also have a very clear understanding of the market conditions and trends. This information flow is said to be very important. Take an example here. A software salesperson uses the market data to demonstrate how their product meets the latest industry standards. So you must be in a position to understand what are the latest industry standards. As a matter of fact, you should also understand the client's product needs and all. So you need to address the client's specific needs and gaining a competitive advantage. This is a bit because this is the latest industry standard what we have, and we are meeting, our product meets your this standard, up to date, and that's how you are supposed to convince. This is all about the information base. Otherwise, you're going to lose. Then about the other party, there are two different concepts here: opponent types, physical and idea. Let's examine what are these. Understanding the types of opponent in negotiation can help tailor strategies for effective engagement, because we have already told you there are customers and customers, mind it. There are customers and customers, meaning clients and clients, meaning no two clients will be similar in terms of participating in the negotiation table, and their doubts, their the way in which they converse with, and a lot of things. So you need to understand the different types of opponents. Basically, researchers found out there are two different types: vesical opponent. So opponent is about they are driven by emotions. They are mostly emotional, meaning they focus on personal feelings and immediate reactions. They're emotionally aroused. How you are going to handle those customers is a matter of importance for you. Then the second type is idea opponent. They focus on logical arguments. Look at the first one. They are based on emotions, excitements. So when their excitements are there, you have to create sufficient excitement in their minds so that you can capture their attention to finish off the deal. In case when you're approaching an idea opponent, they are totally logic based. So you need to focus on logical arguments like rational decision making, like your price or whatever, and what is the advantage, 1, 2, 3, 4 advantage of your X product when compared to competitor products like Y, Z, and all. They don't take any mental excitements. They talk about a logical argument. They talk in terms of logic. What is the advantage for me? Product advantage. Tell me. They're not interested in excited states of things like. So these are the two types of people normally who are said to be participating in a conversation table, and you're supposed to go in for handling them. See, Let's see an example. A visceral opponent in personal selling might be a customer who is passionate about eco-friendly products. So he wants, no, I want an eco-friendly product. So this is highly, this. So how you are going to have a conversation opened? See, they don't want to talk about the product price, quality, whatever. They say that I want an eco-friendly product. They're passionate about eco-friendly products. So then how the salesperson need to handle? Yeah, the salesperson should appeal to the customer's emotions by highlighting the environmental benefits of this product. Absolutely important. Look at the see. You're not talking about the price. You're not talking about the product advantage. What is the customer advantage by buying this product? But instead, the salesperson should appeal to the customer's emotions and highlighting the environmental benefits of the product. Exactly opposite happens in case of an idea opponent, and who always talks about costs and benefits in terms of logic, as a matter of fact. So the salesperson should provide a very detailed data and logical arguments to demonstrate the product's value. They're not on mental excitements, and they're not on the other side of the things. You tell me about what is the product price, quality, advantage, this, that, when compared to that of the competitors' products. So idea opponents might be, must be answered in terms of the cost benefit analysis of the product. D. Look at these things. Important. So let's examine before we close here, because it is 11:06 and one more, 10 more minutes for me to go again. So real-time examples in person selling, let's examine now here. In a real estate negotiation, I want you to look at the steps involved and how it goes. A real estate agent, who is said to be a negotiator, yes, uses the pyramid of success to prepare thoroughly. We have seen, pyramid of success right from preparation to final close. So to prepare thoroughly, understanding the buyer's needs and also market conditions. So this is the preparatory phase. You should understand what are the market conditions and what's your product, I mean, your offer, real estate project, and all. That's preparation. Second is develop a strategy to highlight property's unique selling points. Identify why the customer should buy the land or a building or a apartment or a villa in this particular locality or in this particular time period. Why it is. So try to identify unique selling points. This is what we call USP theory, unique selling proposition. That's your strategy development, the second stage of pyramid of success. The third is, having understood these two, you need to participate in a conversation, and depends upon the richness of your articulation counts a lot. So effective communication skills are used to present these points very clearly. If if you are not in a position to present your sales argument clearly, and you fumble in terms of your sales communication, it becomes a problem area. And the next one is that agent negotiates terms by addressing the buyer's concerns and offering incentives. They will talk about a lot of things like what is the discount that we can give, or the project's finishing time, and what is the advantage that you're going to give when I buy this apartment or villa, whatever. What are the amenities that you're going to offer? A lot of things. So now the agent negotiates terms by addressing buyers' concerns and offering incentives. This is bargaining. And for bargaining, you should have a legitimate power or expert power or referent power, whatever it is, in order to complete the deal. That's it. And finally, the close the deal by ensuring all parties agree on terms of closing. This is the final stage. So, from preparation to close. So, our intention is to have a closing of the deal and how effectively you handle the conversations. Now, the agent leverages power through their authority. I was just now talking. As a real estate professional and expert power through market knowledge. You can only master the market knowledge in order to have the expert power. See, normal customers may not have the market knowledge. As a matter of fact, say residential accommodation. I'm sorry, the area, the potential developments that may take place in that particular area, and what are the government's concerns in that particular area. What are the likely projects that are likely to be developed in that particular area, so that if you buy your house here now, and after 5 years, 6 years, you see the magic. So all these things, if you want to talk to them, you should have a thorough market knowledge. So they create urgency by emphasizing competitive market. Am I clear what I'm saying? What is the advantage you have? What are the unique advantage your project has when compared to that of other projects? I mean, real estate projects, housing or whatever. So the agent's deep understanding of the property details, this is called information. Mind it. Very, very important. If you don't have information, again, you say, no, sir, I need to talk to my office and tell you. Every question you say like this, then it becomes a very futile effort. Don't participate, for heaven's sake. Don't participate in negotiation table without information. Absolutely important. But don't question the logic of the customer's questions and all. They may have. He said, in sales scenarios, if you have 1,000 questions, it's not sufficient. You should have 1,001 answers to the questions. 1,001 questions the customers will pose. You have 1,000 answers. If you can't answer one question, you're out of the scenario. See, I'm dramatizing it because it's a competitive scenario. It happens like that. So agents' deep understanding of the properties details, that's very important information. Then the awareness of the buyer's emotional aspect. See, you need to capture their emotions also. Sometimes, they are visceral opponents also. So you should be, fantasize the entire sales scenario by looking at, this is the hall, this is the thing, and you start explaining with reference to, product brochure and all. You see, you're sitting here and this is the 40-inch television in here. So you create a scenario where they feel touched emotionally. Am I clear what I'm saying? Or when they visit your site, you can also take them inside the apartment or a villa, whatever house, and explain what how the things will happen and all. So they have a feel of it. So that's highly emotional, visceral. And then logical. I've already told you there are people who want to talk about their cost benefit analysis. So you should also tailor your conversational approach very effectively depending upon the opponent's nature. Then, of course, say for example, another example I can give you: the car salesperson negotiator. He's a negotiator, uses preparation to understand the buyer's preferences and budget. I've already told you, you have to have a clear idea of what are the buyer's preferences and the budget normally estimate. And by virtue of initial conversations, the first slice of conversation you have, you might be capturing the customer's preferences and budgets and all. Then develop a strategy to emphasize cars features that align with the buyer's needs. Note here, buyer's needs are said to be very important. The first few minutes, you need to capture buyer's preferences and buyer's budget so that you can steer your sales conversation very effectively. Mind it, you should also have the time frame in your mind. You can't hang on conversing with a customer who are supposed to be suspects. When you want to convert a suspect into a prospect, if you want to convert a suspect into a prospect, your sales conversation can do miracles. Mind it, a suspect can be converted into a prospect. Only thing is, you need to develop a strategy to emphasize the car's features that align with buyer's needs. It happens in case of any business scenario. Even in the case of real estate, also same thing happens. Then effective communication highlights these features, and the bargaining adjusts the terms to fit the buyer's financial constraints. You will have, if you do not have, you try to customize. If you think that the buyer have been sorry, you have the advantage of finishing the deal, then you need to customize your own sales, what you call product advantages or whatever it is. Customize the conditions, I mean to say sales conditions, according to the buyer's financial constraints, and then of course close the deal. Ensure the buyer is committed to the purchase and close the deal. That's the objective what we now have. Now, before we close, one or two points, and then I just say close. The salesperson uses expert power through their knowledge of the car and reward power by offering discounts, additional services, etc., etc. And they create urgency by mentoring limited time offers. I was talking to you earlier. It's only an example to amplify further amplification of the importance of sales conversation as such. Information about the car's features, very, very important. Buyer's preferences is very critical. And understanding the buyer, whether emotional buyer or logical buyer, is a very important aspect. In order to fine tune your sales pitch, don't mix them. First of all, you need to identify what type of opponent he is sitting across the table. So that's a very important aspect. So one final word before we close is mastering negotiation skill involves understanding and effectively using the pyramid of success, right from preparation to final close. And you need to understand your derived power, what type of power you have: referent power, expert power, legitimate power, in order to have some command or conversation for a final deal, closer of the deal. Then timing is also said to be very, very important. How you are supposed to create urgency in the mind of the customers to complete the deal is said to be very, very important. Then about information. Dry conversations will not come to a closure. Mind it, if you have some information, potential information, important information about your product, about the competitors, and about the opponent sitting across the table. Why competitors' products information is important? See, customers will raise n plus one number of questions. So you should be in a position to effectively compare and contrast with the competitors' products, and then tell the customer about, yeah, this is the product advantage of ours, whatever, our company's product. So information based is very, very important. Don't participate ever in dry conversations. Absolutely. Dry conversation means you don't have any thing to say when the customer asks a number of questions. So that's that. Not only you lose, and your company also loses reputation, mind it. And then recognizing opponent types, how to handle an emotional customer and how to handle a logical customer. In the sense, logical argument oriented customer, emotional oriented customers, as a matter of fact, visceral and logical idea. So applying these principles in personal selling, such as in real estate or car sales, and for example, in consumer durable, can lead to successful and mutually beneficial outcomes. So this is the discussion and the part two of the discussion. And the next coming session will be taking up a few more details of the art and science of a negotiation in sales scenario. Thank you for your patient listening. I'm very happy to answer your questions, if any. Yeah, please. The floor is open for questions. Upendra, could you get me in? Hello? Upendra, you're in mute.
Okay, sir. Sir, add the students to the stage, sir. Some of the students are waiting for your approval. Add some of the
Oh,
students to the stage. Yeah.
my good. Almost over. Why it now?
It's not an issue, sir. They were listening on YouTube. It's not an issue at
Okay,
all.
okay, okay. That's it. That's it. Fine, fine.
Because of some network issue, they left from the stage. And once they rejoined, you have to add to the stage, sir. Sir, I'm
Okay.
sharing one of the recent discussion. Can you able to see my screen, sir?
No, no. Yeah, 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 yeah. Able to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, after our first discussion on selling a negotiation skill lab, I conducted one session in the classroom, sir. Okay,
Okay.
it's about this one, sir. So I have a newspaper, business line newspaper, so on budget
Yeah.
day. So I thought I bring 10 copies from the vendor and I take those 10 papers to the class and start discussion how the people are able to sell their this paper. So I allotted two roles. One is the marketing executive role for one student and one for the customer, the client.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
these are all good pictures. They done very well. So I shift the
Oh,
roles also. Okay.
okay.
So
Okay.
uh, and this was those things, and we have some audio clips also, sir, here. How they interacted, etc. Can you
Okay.
able to listen
Okay.
the voice?
No, 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 no. I think I need to open. You need to open it. Yeah.
Is it audible, sir? No,
No, I
audible.
can see the video, but no
Not
voice.
no voice. Okay, okay. Just I'm showing how nearly they do negotiation for 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, sir.
Hmm. Hmm.
How she explained. You can have a look, sir. Just how their body languages are there. I found out of four teams, they done very good job, sir.
Very good. Very good.
Okay. So after that, what I done was I played a role of marketing executive, and one student as the subscriber, potential
Okay.
subscriber.
Okay.
So I demonstrated through with your knowledge and my experience. You said the important part power. So I have some
Yes. Yes.
expertise on it. So a newspaper field. So I demonstrated like
Yeah.
this.
Good.
And I have
Very
taken
good.
some pictures. On it. Even I have
Nice.
my this also. Okay, some of
Very
the
good.
students
Very
are
good. It's a
watching
very good
these. And
exercise. I really appreciate you, Upendra, for done this. They must get convinced about the the things, skills, etc. Once they are
yeah.
exposed to this kind of exercise or
No,
whatever. It's good.
no, what I said was how it should be a starting point when you're meeting a
Yeah.
client. This was the thing, and then
Yes. Yes.
it's a 6 minutes of discussion between us, and And as you said that some of the questions were raised, objections was raised by some of the students.
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
I handle those objections also. I lively demonstrated everything what you said with my
Hmm.
knowledge and information. I demonstrate. This is the thing I want to share with you, sir.
Okay, okay,
So
okay.
this is our really 6 minutes of discussion we had in it.
Very good, very good, very good, very
That's I want to share with you. And now the participants now, I think now it is possible also, sir. There are two participants never participated in the discussion. Now they are on
good.
the
Okay,
call. If you permit
okay.
me, we go for a live session, online negotiation session on now itself,
Yeah,
sir. If you
absolutely
permit
fine.
us.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm okay.
Okay, now who are the participants? I think there are two participants who are not participated in that day. I think Dinesh and the Sarvani. Are you there? Dinesh and the Sarvani on the call?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, shall we do for 5 minutes of quick selling and negotiation? They were the
Absolutely
participants,
fine.
but they were. Are you ready with this one, Amma? I was chooser get demonstration. Huh?
Yes, sir. Susan, sir.
So take one role, Dinesh. Which role you take? And if it is better to on the video, it will be good. At least one of you.
Yeah, please on your cameras, please, so that
Excellent.
things would go good.
Yes, sir. If you have a signal issue, okay, it's okay, fine. If you don't have any signal issue, you can on the video. So who want to play the role of marketing executive, Dinesh or Sarvati? It's a good opportunity to you both. Then. Dinesh, you're not prepared. Sarvani, and I think sir, who are the participants? Sir? Can you able to say who are the participants? Can unmute and say. I think there are three participants from the
Yeah,
in
three
the
on
live
screen.
call.
I'm able to see, but no names as such.
Names.
Able to see, but no names.
Who are these three? I think there are two, Dinesh and Sarvan, and one more. Sarvan, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, one is Sarvan is there, and who was another one? Oh, I think still they were not having any familiarization how to deal on online sales. It's difficult, of course. I think in the next class we go for an online sales negotiation, sir, a live demo.
Sure,
You know,
sure.
they just I thought to start this one, but they were not ready.
Okay.
It's a kind of off the live video, sir. We are getting echo, sir. Off చేశారా sir? Oh.
Hmm. Yeah.
Any questions? Okay, so
Just
we do
giving a-
online. Sir, please lower the volume, sir. YouTube volume. Uh, please.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions? We go for online sales negotiation in the next class. So, do you have any queries or draw some conclusion from the today's class? MS Sarwan, what any doubts you have?
No, sir.
Pass.
Everything is clear, sir.
It says that nothing was clear to you. Yeah, at least have something to summarize. ఓకే కొంత మాట్లాడాలి ఇప్పుడు నో నో అంటే ఏదో మా కోసం చేసినట్టు కాదు కదా ఇట్స్ అలాగే ఆపర్చునిటీ ఎనీ అదర్ సరే నౌ యూ కెన్ గో త్రూ యూట్యూబ్ ఎనీ కామెంట్స్ ఆన్ యూట్యూబ్ కామెంట్స్ ఎనీ కామెంట్స్
Comment.
వస్తే queries వస్తే
Comments. Okay. Let
go
me
ahead.
check. So I have to go to the live session and then identify comments.
Yes sir, yeah,
Right now there is no chat.
okay. So I just putting so power the section power section was very excellent sir. Okay, I found
Hmm.
where you got those things sir, types of powers.
Then this is
That's
only
it.
internet only. Internet. I'm
Okay,
just reviewing a lot of things like and a lot of literature reviewed,
okay
and
sir.
then how to have any because what may happen is it is a human being to human being interaction as such. So it is not
Okay.
like by saying, I am powerful and you're not this thing and all. And it is unethical also to cow down the other person without any logical argument. Am I clear?
Okay.
So, of course, my objective is to finish off the sale for my company. It's fine, but then today's marketing perspective is all about giving the customer the advantage what he wants. So that's where you count in terms of your ability to convince. So how powerful are you? Number one is you have to have a referent power. Like once I see you in my conversation table, you have to be well presented, dignified, and with a smart smile on your face. That presents me. It's a cosmic energy passes between yourself and myself, as a matter of fact. And there are people and people differently. So some people, you're not interested to talk even for a couple of minutes. So reasons may be very many, and because God has given us beautiful bodies, but we make them as awkward as possible before others. Reasons may be very many. You should blame yourself, not the God. So in sales conversations, something important is the power you are going to derive when you converse with the thing. And
Okay.
expert power is all about your product knowledge, competitive, competitors' products and all. And legitimate power is you should be having authority to close the deal with some discount, sales offers, or conditional or conditions. You need to customize, or else you need to take a call from your superior officer and complete the deal and close it. So that's how the things go.
Okay. It's
Without
a
empowering
very
users who don't sit on the negotiation table.
okay. Okay. Sir, suggest us some live sessions that I want to do for the next, at least for the next session. They will come and join on online negotiations.
No, no,
On
but
what on what areas? On what areas?
let them talk about real estate projects.
Sir, they have the don't have the product knowledge on it. By
Yeah, yeah,
keeping
exactly. They
their
don't have.
level of knowledge.
No, no, identify. See, go to the internet and identify what is the real estate means, what and what the customer thinks about real estate project, like an apartment complex or a villa complex or plots, open plots here and there, and what sort of things that need to be taken in.
Okay.
They
And
may say
one more.
XYZ project వాళ్ళు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఏదో సమ్ XYZ ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో ఉన్నారు వాళ్ళు ఇప్పుడు దే వుడ్ లైక్ టు కన్విన్స్ ది కస్టమర్స్ అబౌట్ దేర్ ప్రాజెక్ట్. వాళ్ళదేమో ఏదో విల్లా ప్రాజెక్ట్ అనుకోండి, ఒక 40 విల్లాస్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఉంది, ఏదో ఒక చోట ఉంది. అండ్ వాళ్ళు ఏం చేయాలి ఇప్పుడు దానికి సంబంధించినటువంటి టెక్నికల్ డీటెయిల్స్ అన్ని కావాల్సి వస్తుంది. అంటే ఏరియా ఎక్కడుంది, అది ఏంటి, అదంతా ప్లస్ ఆ విల్లా ఎంత యూనో దేంట్లో ఉంటుంది, అంటే ఐ మీన్ మెజర్మెంట్స్ ఏంటి, ఎంత ఉంటుంది ఏంటి, అవన్నీ ఓకే. నెక్స్ట్ ఏంటి, ఆ ఏరియా ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఏంటి, వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ ఏరియా, అంటే ఓవర్ ఏ పీరియడ్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్ ద గ్రోత్ ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది ఏంటి, అవన్నీ కూడా మనకి చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. సో విత్ ఇన్ ది విసినిటీ ఇంకొక ఏదో ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఉంది, దాని మీద కూడా మనకి డీటెయిల్స్ తెలియాలి, మాస్టర్ చేయాలి. తెలిసిన తర్వాత సో అక్కడ కంటే మాకు ఉన్నటువంటి అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఏంటి, ఇంటెలిజెంట్గా ఏంటంటే అఫ్ కోర్స్ ఇట్ ఆల్ డిపెండ్స్ అపాన్ ది ప్రాఫిట్ అండ్ ఆల్. వాళ్ళు ఏం ఆఫర్ చేస్తున్నారో అవంతా మాస్టర్ చేస్తే మనం ఇంకా ఎక్స్ట్రా అడ్వాంటేజ్ కస్టమర్స్కి ఏమి ఇవ్వచ్చు మనకి తెలుస్తుంది. అని వీలైతే ప్రతి వాడి దానికి మనము ఓవర్ ఐ మీన్ వాళ్ళందరినీ పక్క పడేసి మరి చాలా పెద్ద అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఇచ్చేస్తామంటే మనకి ప్రాఫిట్ సున్నా అయిపోతుంది. మరి అంత ఘోరమైనటువంటి కాంపిటేటివ్ స్ట్రాటజీస్ కాదు, మనం చేయలేం కదా కొన్ని. అట్లా అట్లా వాళ్ళు ఏంటంటే మనం ఒక హైపోథెటికల్ గా ఈ XYZ ప్రాజెక్ట్ మాది PQR, ఇది XYZ తో కంపారిజన్, ఈ ఏరియాలో ఏమి ఉంటాయి, ఏమేమి చేస్తాం, మేము ఏం చేస్తాం, ఈ ఏరియానే ఎందుకు ఇంపార్టెంట్, అక్కడి నుంచి స్టార్ట్ అవ్వాలి. అసలు
Sir,
కస్టమర్ ముందు రియల్ ఎస్టేట్ కస్టమర్ నీడ్స్ ఏంటో స్టడీ చేయాలి. వాళ్ళది సెకండ్ హౌసా, ఫస్ట్ హౌస్ వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారనుకోండి చాలా ఎమోషనల్ గా ఉంటారు. ఐ మస్ట్ హ్యావ్ టు హ్యావ్ మై హౌస్ ఇమీడియట్లీ. వాళ్ళు సెకండ్ హౌస్ థర్డ్ హౌస్ అలా ఉన్నారనుకోండి, వాళ్ళే ఆలోచిస్తుంటారు, అయ్యో ఆల్రెడీ మనం ఒక హౌస్ మంచిది ఉంది కదా, ఇది ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ పర్పస్ కోసం చూస్తారు. ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ పర్పస్ కోసం చూసేవాళ్ళు వేరే ఉంటారు. రెసిడెన్షియల్ అకామిడేషన్ ఇమీడియట్లీ ఐ వాంట్ టు గో అండ్ లివ్ ఇన్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ అన్న వాళ్ళ నీడ్ వేరుగా ఉంటుంది. దిస్ ఇస్ ది క్రక్స్ ఆఫ్ ది థింగ్. ఇలా నీడ్స్ తెలుసుకోకపోతే సేల్స్ ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్స్ డిఫికల్ట్ అవుతాయి. అదేదో మనం మోసలో పోసి ఏదో అలా ఇచ్చేస్తాం కదా, అలా కాకుండా సేల్స్ టాక్ హైలీ కస్టమైజ్డ్గా ఉండాలి. ఇది పర్సనల్ సెల్లింగ్ అప్రోచ్. కస్టమైజ్డ్ థింగ్స్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ అన్నమాట.
ఓకే
అది
సార్.
అట్లా ఎనీ ప్రోడక్ట్ నీ ఇష్టం, నువ్వు ఏది తయారు పెట్టుకున్నా సరే పర్వాలేదు.
ఓకే.
కానీ ఇలాంటివి
Depending
తీసుకుంటే ఏంటంటే కొంచెము రిలేటివ్లీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ అవుతాయి. అంటే స్టడీ
సార్,
చేయడానికి కస్టమర్స్ నీడ్స్ ఏంటి, ఎట్లా మనం ప్రజెంట్ చేయాలి, అలా అలా.
సో ఫర్
నెక్స్ట్.
ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ ద అంటే సబ్స్క్రైబర్, a new subscriber, a potential subscriber, and
Yes.
a marketing executive from publishing house came to an MBA student. If you play the role of a marketing executive, what are the key points that you put to
No, I
go for a
want
sales
my
pitch?
students to subscribe for my paper, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You
Now,
not sir, you are a marketing executive from business line.
yeah, that's
And
what
you
I am
want
saying.
to
Yeah.
invest.
I am selling, right?
Yeah, you are selling
So I'm
it.
selling. So
It's
what
very
happens here?
difficult to read.
Yeah, first my client is an MBA student, right?
Yeah.
I'm for a management student as such. So I need to capture his attention of information, how important business information is all about. Because before you master all the theories and concepts in management, you should also be abreast of market knowledge about things. So ours is a business newspaper. Ours is a business newspaper. Vis-a-vis, say, Economic Times, Financial Express. What are the columns they run, and what are those things important for an MBA grad? But my paper is this. These are our columns. So these are the things that you can get from these. And moreover, we have some executive club concept of a thing. MBA students, if there are 25, and we can extend the free copy to our library, and all those 30 students will have a complimentary copy of one good management text or whatever, along with the subscription. If you subscribe for 3 months, another month will be free. Another month will be free. So automatic subscription takes place. And apart from that, we would be sending all the necessary, what you call on request. We provide you e-resources on your email. Our paper is AI supported, artificial intelligence supported. We have a tool. So any question you ask us, and we will be in a position to supply through email. So this is my sales talk. This is my sales talk. I mean, how unique. Then we'd be organizing, and all those. I mean, if you join a club, we will say for every fortnight or every month, we will be organizing a workshop in your college. There will be getting one or two executives of eminence and for an interaction with you. This is an extra offer that I'm going to. The Hindu will do that. The Hindu, they organize meetings in management colleges.
Now, any queries from the client side? Sir, I think there are two participants. Do you have any queries? How
Yeah, that's
you objections?
that's
Yeah,
very
you can
important.
say.
We must have a bargaining table. Without
Yeah.
client, nothing happens.
When I'm playing these roles, and one of the student objected, raised a query. Now, I think there are two participants. They may ask you. They object anything. They may
Yeah,
have
yeah.
any queries.
Yeah, please try to have your concerns.
Query. Are you or on YouTube live? Some of there. If you listen the last part of this one, you can raise your query. two participants play a role of a client, then raise any objections or any queries. My query is, sir, why we have to buy physical newspaper when we have online resources available at fingertips? Why have to subscribe to this newspaper? Then how
Okay,
can
okay.
we
Then,
handle this
yeah,
objection?
that's the best question. A very nice question you have raised. But then, now playing with the vocabulary and all is just good enough when you read books. So what may happen is your reading habit increases your attentiveness and your ability to concentrate and your abilities for critical decision area, decision making, etc. Everything counts a lot when we refer to reading intellect, as a matter of fact. So a good reader of books is a better individual, a very poised individual, knowledge based and all in the market, as a matter of fact. So try to read as many books as possible. Of course, there is nothing wrong in going for literature on the internet and all now today, but this is
This
something
is
very
the
interesting. And again,
specific.
what will happen is you can have it the back volumes and all that. In case of internet, what may happen is archives may not be preserved, as a matter of fact. అంటే మీరు అంటే అది ఏదో అది కొన్ని కాపీబుల్ అయితే కాపీ చేసుకుని మీరు ఏదో ఫైల్లో స్టోర్ చేసుకుంటారు అనుకోండి, ఇది డిఫరెంట్ స్టోరీ. బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ రీడింగ్ ఈజ్ సంథింగ్ వెరీ ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్. అంటే మీ కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ అవన్నీ కూడా హెల్ప్ చేస్తాయి. అండ్ బికాస్ యూఆర్ a స్టూడెంట్ అండ్ యూ నీడ్ టు హ్యావ్.
Why should I buy your paper rather than the others? Then
That's what I told you, no? What are the advantages you have, and what is the editorial team, what we had, and what is the advantage that we're going to give? We have already said, for every fortnight we get our executives for an interaction and all, and we also have all columns are distinctively presented, and we'll be giving you some good book for every yearly subscription. No, these are the unique things that I am going to give.
oh,
Apart from
nice.
all other things, like
Yeah.
so,
Just
ours is an AI-powered editorial board. So you share your emails and any queries you want, relevant queries only with regard to your subjects. Will be very interested to know your queries, and will be pleased to answer via email. So
nice,
these are my
nice. Yeah.
commitments from my side. But of course, I'm not sure whether I can commit to these things, because I must have to work out on my revenue model and see if all these things go good and what is the subscription money I get and what is the advantage that I'm going to give. So this is my homework. సో హైపోథెటికల్గా మాట్లాడుతున్నాను నేను, అంటే ఇంకా మనం ఎడిటోరియల్ బాట కూర్చుని పబ్లిషర్ అంత ఎంత అవుతుంది ఏంటి వీళ్ళు అడిగిన వీటన్నిటికీ, అంటే మనం అన్ని అజ్యూమింగ్ దట్ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ విల్ గో గుడ్, ఐఎమ్ మేకింగ్ మై సేల్స్ ప్రెజెంటేషన్ అనమాట.
Yeah. Sir, can we go to YouTube chat, and if the students are, can you pose any queries by referring to their role as a client? And one, sir, it's a dear students, this is very important. You have a practical sessions. We have external examiner will come to this paper and they evaluate your negotiation and selling skills. So they give you one instance and they ask you to play that role. So this is an example. So I think make it take it in a serious manner and learn the conceptual knowledge behind selling and negotiation, and try to participate in the events and at least play one role and pose some queries uh, in the chat or in by orally. So I sincerely advise you to participate in the discussions. So there any query on YouTube, sir? On you?
No, it's only your chart.
Okay, okay, sir. So maybe they motivate, they inspire at later point of time. But they were listening, they were
You
participating in the
that
discussion
power
mode.
types excellent, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And we do the same manner in the next session also, sir.
Thank you so
Same
much.
way.
Thank you.
And I think the names was not visible, sir. I think there is some settings will be there. I will inform you later, sir, how
Which
to
one?
change that setting.
Name?
So, names are not displaying, sir. Participants' names was
Names
not
are not,
displaying.
names are not coming up. Okay.
So okay, now you can go to your thing and end the live stream, sir. So thank you, students. Thank you for participating.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Upendra.
Actively participate in the charts also at least. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Thank you so much for all of
Thank
you.
you, sir. Thank you for valuable information. Whatever you are giving.